there's one thing Jerry Jones has become notorious for, beyond the glitz, glamour, and headlines. It's his aversion to big-money free agent signings. The Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager has taken heat over the years for what critics label as a cheap approach to free agency. But in 2024, that same conservative mindset may have just saved the franchise from a financial catastrophe. Enter Christian Wilkins. The former Miami Dolphins defensive tackle hit the open market last offseason, following a breakout campaign in 2023. He had all the makings of the kind of player who commands a record-setting deal: 9 sacks, 23 quarterback hits, 61 total pressures, and a rock-solid 69.2 run defense grade per Pro Football Focus. He was disruptive, durable, and dynamic. In short, Wilkins was the crown jewel of the 2024 defensive tackle free agent class. And yet, Jerry Jones didn't bite. The Cowboys faithful were begging for change. For years, Dallas had been accused of neglecting the interior of their defensive line, relying on stopgap solutions instead of investing in a long-term anchor. Wilkins seemed like the ideal answer. And after seeing him sign with the Las Vegas Raiders on a 4-year, $110 million deal, $82.75 million of it guaranteed, Cowboys Nation was livid. Social media lit up. Talk radio exploded. "Same old Cowboys," fans groaned. But oh, how quickly the narrative has changed. Just over a year into his massive contract, Wilkins has become a cautionary tale in Sin City. According to Lou Scatalia of NFL Spin Zone, the deal is already being labeled one of the worst in the league. Christian Wilkins played in just 5 games for the Raiders in the 2025 NFL season due to a foot injury. Scataglia wrote, "He is already set to turn 30 years old during the season." Wilkins was yet another example of former GM Tom Telesco going big fish hunting in free agency, only to overpay for a player and neglect the overall roster depth. This is precisely the kind of scenario that Jones and the Cowboys were trying to avoid. In hindsight, Dallas made the right call by sitting out the bidding war. Sure, Wilkins would have looked sharp lined up next to rising star Osa Odighizuwa on the Cowboys' defensive front. His ability to both stop the run and generate interior pressure was a tantalizing prospect. But there was one major issue: the price tag. Forking over more than $27 million per year for a defensive tackle nearing 30 with a history of nagging injuries? That's not the Cowboy way. Not anymore. Especially when they had a homegrown star in Odighizuwa, who was eligible for an extension and coming into his prime. Dallas made their move in March of 2025, locking in Odighizuwa to a new contract that looks like a steal in comparison. The deal, $20 million per year, $39 million guaranteed, ranks just 15th in average annual value among interior defenders. And yet Odighizuwa is playing like a top 5 talent. In 2024, he finished in the top 7 in pressures, sacks, quarterback hits, and pass rush grade in true pass sets. He's been a model of consistency, durability, and progression since being drafted in 2021. In short, Odighizuwa became everything the Cowboys needed from Wilkins, without the inflated price tag or injury concerns. The contrast couldn't be more dramatic. While Wilkins spent most of 2025 in street clothes nursing a foot injury, Odighizuwa was wreaking havoc in backfields across the NFC. He's not just a foundational piece for Dallas, he's a bargain. And it's not just Wilkins. The 2024 free agent class included other big names like Grover Stewart, DJ Reader, and Sheldon Rankins. All talented in their own right, but none would have delivered the long-term value Dallas secured by betting on their own guy. That's the beauty of what the Cowboys pulled off. By avoiding the temptation to chase headlines, they found themselves with a rising star on a team-friendly deal and a stronger roster for it. There's a lesson here, and Jerry Jones understood it better than most. Big contracts don't always equal big results. Flashy signings often come with hidden costs, injuries, diminishing returns, and cap nightmares. The Cowboys have been burned before. Anyone remember the Brandon Carr contract from 2012? And clearly, they've learned their lesson. Jones's decision to stand pat in 2024 wasn't exciting. It didn't dominate SportsCenter, but it may end up being one of the smartest moves of his recent tenure. Sometimes the best acquisitions are the ones you never make.